So did. I don't have my earbuds today, so let's hope that this transmission is loud enough. You feel me? Spiritual crow call. We're gonna get some energy in here. We'll build some chi before we get into our vibe. So as we travel this destiny on this dog day, we're just gonna put the energy out. We're gonna consecrate and ask for spirit to move through us. So as we open up this live today, we hit a spiritual call for the chosen and divine. Those that may be in alignment but just need a confirmation. We all need confirmations to continue on through our days. So as you live and walk through us, you send confirmations through us. We seek confirmations to others, and that's the reflection. Those are the doppelgangers that we feel God's resonance. And we just thank you for those opportunities of reflection, of truth. And we send resonance of upgrade, integration, and divinity through these dog days, because it's a trying time. They've unleashed a lot of different evil portals, and a lot of our people are getting washed up. So protect those that need to be protected. Give those eyes that need to see. And may we start anew from here. I'll say that. So quick build, y'all. We're not gonna be long on this. I just wanted to talk about spirit animals and how spirit animals affect your awareness of God, because there's always a way for spirit to communicate with you. Awareness of God, because there's always a way for spirit to communicate with you. And one way is animal, whether it be a grasshopper, bug, whether that be a cat, whether that be elephant, it goes on and on and on, because there's a specific frequency to each one of those animals, and the spirit of those animals, they reside within you and I. And a particular energy will have more of a particular animal in their lineage or DNA, and that's what you would call a totem animal. So a totem animal is close and kindred to your spirit because it frequents the same frequency, if you will. But when you value the totem animal in a certain respect, it gives you a power within yourself, because you're able to realize a particular spirit that guides you. And there's a little difference between a totem animal and then a spirit guide. You know what I mean? Because a totem animal kind of represents who you are, what you are, and you may see those on a regular basis all the time. That particular animal is the type of animal that you'll see consistently, because your frequency resonates and you're going to attract it. The electromagnetic field is what animals move on. They don't have directions and GPS. They don't got none of that shit. So when you're dealing with spirit animals, the spirit animal will show up in times of needs and times of balance, times of awareness. There's a lot of different ways they may show up, and you have to learn the language of animals. Just like in the Matrix, I think in the second one, Neo goes to the hood and he goes to see the Oracle. And it's no coincidence that the Oracle was living in the hood. But she loved candy, and she was sitting there talking to him and explaining to him how each particular thing in the Matrix has a program, if you will. So when you see something show up, there's a code in that program that is, so that portion of God is related in the 4D. that fourth dimension, that consciousness, and that goes with dreams, that goes with visions, that goes with walking by and you see the number 44, that goes with translating somebody's shirt, being a message to you. They walking by you, but it's on their being, on their body, on their shirt, but that's a specific message for you, and it correlates with the synchronicity of what you're thinking, doing, and saying. So you have to be very aware and mindful of the relation of sequence, because sequence can be happening right in front of your face, and it's up to you to really, keep up with it. A lot of the codes may get repeated because they know that you might miss it. This is a lot of codex, and this is a matrix. So you're looking to find a codex within that 4 dimension. That way you can begin to work in the 5D, because once you understand 4D, you can start to relate and communicate in 4D. Once you're communicating in 4D, now you're creating in 5D consciousness. And we're going to get way higher in the consciousness levels, but we're trying to get out of this Saturn moon matrix, if you will. We're trying to get out of this. So as the axis as they shift, and I ain't done all my astronomy work, so I don't know where is it shifting to. I don't know if it's Aquarius, Leo. I don't freaking know, but I know it's Saturn, Cancer right now. And you're moving because you listening. If you're not, you need to get onto the news, because the axes are pivoting and shifting, which is shifting the equator, which is shifting the equilibrium, which will shift the pole resonance of what it is that we are here to balance on this Earth, Tiamat, Turtle Island. Follow what I'm saying? So it's a very important shift that we're all going through, and a lot of people are realizing it, and we're doing something about it. We're making sure we're holding space for the new. We're getting rid of the old. We're realizing the detriment to some of the old, so that way we can teach the new cycles, and we could begin a rebirth of a nation, if you will. So the spirit animals come in very much handy, because you have the birds, which are the messengers, and you may often think that birds are random, just flying across your head, but a lot of times they have particular resonance, and they are here for a specific reason. You remember Harry Potter, the owl will always drop off the messages, and no matter how many times the message got thrown away or diverted or manipulated, Harry still got the message, because Hagrid ended up kicking the door down, and he came and delivered the message himself. He was the messenger. So he was mercurial energy, if you will. Harry Potter's a dope movie. We need to do like a whole breakdown on the whole Harry Potter. But anyway, the spirit animal birds are messengers. And you may see particular animals. And like I said, I have the language of the birds set up in my astrology notes. And I want to do all 12 of the animals, all 12 of the astrology. And I have a bird assigned to each one of them. And they have a specific frequency that matches the exact astrology. So that'll be a dope build. We'll get into that soon. Because Spirit Crow Calls is tapped into the crows. They're basically the gang members. They're the tribe members. So they mob deep. They don't let any of the predators mob too much into the sky, because if they get out there in the sky, the crows will get active and they will start to disrupt the peace of the owl or the falcon or the eagle. They don't care how big they are. They'll bother them. So you keep in acknowledgement the animals, and then there's particular animals that are monitoring spirits. So flies, that means somebody's sending you a particular evil eye energy. Those big old roaches and water bugs, that means there's some type of monitoring spirit that is looking, listening, trying to gather information on you in a remote view, in a spiritual essence, through the ethers. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Sly foxes. Foxes are typically majestic creatures, but when you see them back to back to back, that means there's something tricking you right in front of your face, and it's a sly fox energy. You know what I'm saying? The frequency is never going to lie to you. So you have to be very, very keen on your 4D consciousness, and you have to follow the codex, Ready Player One. And if you don't follow the codex, you're going to get lost in the illusion like everyone else did. And the only one that won was Homeboy, the main character in Ready Player One, because he used his brain and he put everything together, the pieces together, and the god of the game adored him and really appreciated the fact that he went through that experience to go through his game. So this is the game of the gods, if you will. So dog days are here. You need to be very aware. You hear the dogs barking, free the dogs. But all of these animals have a resonance, and if you pay attention to each animal, they will tell you something. So be mindful as you come across particular animals and see what it is that it may be trying to tell you. Because I've had a very grand experience on spirit animals, and I should probably write a book on spirit animals. But we're just tapping in on a little basis so y'all can kind of feel what we're saying with the energy of, what's that? That's a vulture right there. With the energy of spirit animals, because we all exist in a particular frequency. So depending on our day-to-day moods, our aura may change a little bit here, whatever. And the more that you tune into the natural frequency, the more you will find that 4D consciousness is in sync with your mindset. That the closer you get to Christ consciousness, the closer you will get to synchronicity. That's why on the Jordan Peele movie, Us, everything was happening in synchronicity when, you know, it was leading up to her meeting the shadow, and the shadow was the one that she met in the carnival, and they had the swap or whatever happened. But leading up to that, it was a lot of synchronicities, and then right at the very last moment, it was 11:11. So that's to let you know that the closer you get to Christ, and that movie was talking about you basically honoring your shadow and not leaving your shadow in the darkness to weep, willow, and die, because that was basically her inner child, and they left him in the basement. So that was a story about shadow work, and she didn't do her shadow work, so her shadow came back to kill her. And that was a horror movie, but if you look at the real true essence of the movie, it's talking about doing your shadow work and killing the ego within you, allowing the child within to flourish and not be locked into the basement. Jason Peele's a genius. Any movies he does, he has some very genius occult backing to it. So that was a dope one. He had the rabbits in the movie. That was a spirit animal. And a rabbit is basically, we know a lot about the rabbit because Alice in Wonderland followed the white rabbit, and then she goes off to this magical, glorious Wonderland, and it's all weird, but it don't make sense, but it actually makes complete sense to the God of who created this, because that was 4D consciousness, and the 4D consciousness was giving her the ability to imagine and to dream, you know. So you continue to follow the white rabbit, but nowadays it's the brown rabbit with the white tail. So you follow the brown rabbit, it's the Peter Cottontail, and they will get you to your destination. Most love, tic-tac-toe girl. Most love. So it's gonna be real critical in these next 5 years that we begin to read Christ consciousness. So that 4D is going to be important for you to decode, and you're going to need to have a awareness that's going to give you a little more intel. So the things that you see on 3 dimension is not the only thing you need to be aware of. It's very, very important. Let's walk over here by the beach, see how it feels. But it's very important that you stay calibrated within what God is saying, because the illusions are heavy now, and as we get closer to our divinity, we'll be a little more safe routed, if you will. But it's real critical time right now, y'all. How y'all living out there? Regardless of how it's going, regardless of how it's looking, just remember that you did the work. Just remember that you had the faith. You know what I mean? Just remember that you gave the time, you put the effort in, you put in the service, you did the due diligence. You know what I mean? Just remember that Christ is here, and Christ will never forget you in a no child left behind type of vibe. You feel me? Oh yeah. So more spirit animal talk. So you got birds, and then you got the aquatic animals. More spirit animal talk. So you got birds, and then you got the aquatic animals. The aquatic animals. I just seen a dolphin the other day, and you do know that it's illegal to talk to dolphins. It's hard to be illegal to talk to dolphins. Yeah, I scratched my wig on that one, because how, why, when, what. But anyway, you know the vibe. When there's something that you are, primordially connected to, they do not want you to be in close connection to that frequency, because the two frequencies in alignment can cause a reaction that they do not even know what will happen. And most of all, we all know what would happen on a basic level, because it's alignment with the primordial beings. They recognize and they know who we are out here. So you'll get visits from a lot of different animals, you know what I mean, on all kind of levels. All of them are not your totem animal, but they are spirit guided. Sometimes they're there just to say, what's up, man, peace, love, and they out. Sometimes they're watching over you. Sometimes they're taking care of you. Sometimes they're sending you a message like, hey, you need to be wise about this next choice. Something's about to go bad. Hey, look, you need to have a good eye on this. Something might be happening. Or you had a good eye on that. Look, this is the confirmation that lets you know that, hey, you're on the right track. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Every bird has a different frequency. So whichever bird you end up seeing, eagle message is a little different than the falcon message. A falcon message is a lot different than a heron or a stork message. You know what I mean? Love doves are a lot different than the blue jay. So each bird has a resonance that attracts to your electromagnetic wave. And we're all attached to this electromagnetic frequency. And that's why nothing is hidden. It attracts to your electromagnetic wave. And we're all attached to this electromagnetic frequency. And that's why nothing is hidden under the sun. All things that were hidden for so long, forever, are now being dragged out into the closet so that they can be cleaned up. And these cycles are now closing, and we're going on to a new. So that's why it's important that we open up these spiritual crow calls. That's why it's important we open up these platforms, and all of our chosen individuals are getting on these platforms to utilize the connection. Because although they might censor our connection, they cannot stop the wave. So they need our voice, they need our face, they need our energy online so that we can attract their algorithm, so that we can attract people to come up on this thing and visit, regardless if it's 2 seconds or not. So keeping in mind that the rabbit got the gun, y'all, and we ain't being violent. We non-violent for real. Now you won't walk up on any of us and get away with putting your hands on any of us. If you get past our spirit team, that was just a test to see, you know what I mean, what you was gonna do. Or they knew that you wanted to let off some steam. However it goes, your spirit team more They can be more wicked than you think, y'all. This ain't all peace, love, and light. So I've heard that the Most Chosen, we got spirit teams that are way more scarier than the devil. Way more, you know what I mean? On both levels, on the higher realms and in the underworlds as well. So if you walk with Anubis and your energy is tapped in to that dog rising, which is the dog days we're experiencing right now, we're going into 8-8 portal. And 8-8 portal is going to manifest a lot of beautiful energy because we're reuniting the tribes. The tribes are reuniting, and if you don't know, you're going to know by 8-8 and this end of this summer, because there's going to be huge shifts, and there's going to be a lot of cover-ups like they've been doing online, and you wonder why Elon and Trump are going through these things. That's because they're going through Star Wars right now. It's a Star Wars, and Elon is one of the robots. Just joking, TikTok. Just joking, man, just joking. Peace to the Heron. Yep, peace to the Heron. Cancer energy is full effect. We're going into the Leo energy now, though. And the Leo energy is going to ask us to show out and to really roar and really let the thunder out. So that's why I say the 8-8 is going to attract the tribes, because we're going to hear those roars from across nations. And a lot of us are going to find the way to connect, and we're going to Voltron this thing, and it's going to speed the process up, because we're not going to be able to do this on our own. To connect, and we're going to Voltron this thing, and it's going to speed the process up, because we're not going to be able to do this on our own. This is really the transition moment right here, y'all. Like all of us on these lives like this, these are like the moments of us in the trench. And we're all reflecting, and we're all sending. Yeah, shout out to the fish. Fish just jumped out of the water, y'all. I swear to God. Love. So this is our in the trench moments. These are the documented moments that even if nobody watches, you've documented them into the algorithm to let it be known that this is the truth of whatever AI that's reading us. This is the truth. So Chief Wise Eye, government name Lashad Solomon, 6 God name 33rd Eye, 3 God name Hector. I got a lot of aliases. They know who we are. They know who I am. They ban all my stuff. They send me in all these different, in all of these lower frequencies, so that I can basically get better. So I thank my enemy. I thank my opposition. That's the way that we ascend in these moments of time. So we have fun and we expose our ops the way we need to, because these people need to know who's the real out here. But all in all, we forgive and we forget. And we forget in the space of we're never going to go back to that space, but we're going to forget that even happened and enjoy the fruits of our new life. Because karmic energy can only last for so long. And once you clear that karmic debt, you know what I mean, your frequency changes and your consciousness level changes, and your ability to access that Akashic records reaches a lot further. You know what I mean? So I'm only here to reflect somebody's truth right now. If somebody's listening to me, even if it's just one person, I'm just here to really like transform people on a slow basis, regardless if it's one person, a million people. I would love the clout and be like, oh yeah, I changed the nation. But when you change the nation, they come for you. So I just want to be low key. I just want to change a few people's lives, man. So I'm setting up shop, and I'm still in the trench. But while we're in the trench, we give gratitude. We put it on replay. We put these lives out, and we send the energy out. We transmit the hate. We transmit the evil, the negative comments, the shadow banning, the people watching, the agents watching from fake pages, putting little weird comments in your page. You know what I mean? All those different things to try and lower your frequency. You know what I mean? That's child's play. And just stay 10 toes in the ground. head in the clouds. That means big, giant energy. You have huge, giant energy. You know what I mean? So any opposition that's in your way right now, you just stand firm on what it is that you are looking to create and what it is that you are trying to do. If you are trying to get your voice out there and to get your word out there, make sure that it is right and exact in your heart, and God will spread it. Regardless if it's a slow burn or not, it's going to catch fire like the Hunger Games. You know what I mean? Spiritual quote call to all my real ones, y'all. Stay in the trench. Stay drenched in the blood of Christ, in the blood of Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? You can call it so many names, but we're going to call it what it is in this current moment. Jesus Christ, the 144 energy, the 144 frequency of the all-knowing, the divine love. See, we come in love, and again, the fish pop out when I need to say something that's real. Love, love, love. I say that. So we really just honor that energy. Regardless of where you at in life, regardless of who trying to stress you, regardless of what type of bills, what type of bullshit you really on, just elevate to that Christ consciousness and find a way to resonate there. And that'll give you the grounded notion to stay on purpose. Because there's a million and one things to tell you to not follow your purpose. You know what I mean? But there's only like 3 or 4 things that'll tell you, hey, look, you need to follow this. You need to follow this right here. And it's only certain things like these spirit animals that I'm speaking about. You know what I mean? I've been literally led to the right direction following certain birds. You know what I mean? I got kind of lost, and literally I would find my way based on the way the bird would follow itself. You know what I mean? And when I say bird following itself, I'm following the bird because I'm, you know what I mean? And when I say bird following itself, I'm following the bird because I'm a bird energy. You know what I mean? That's a Freudian slip, I guess. They got this thing called Freudian slip when you say stuff that you don't know what the hell you meant, but it meant something. So I guess that's what that meant. Because I'm very hairy on the bird energy. Birds are the thinkers. You know what I mean? They're very safeguarded. They're very protected. So you don't see a bird come too close to you because they're not going to chance any type of mess that you want. You know what I mean? You got to be a very divine creature for a bird to let you get close to them without them being hurt. Because they're very safe creatures. So we're out here enjoying the sun's resonance right now, y'all. Make sure y'all get some sunlight. Keep the haters away. Don't even need sunshades, y'all. Look, throw the sunshades in the cup for right now. Let your penile, let your eyes, let the whole 9 resonate off the sun's frequency right now. You know what I mean? You'll notice your skin start to glow. You'll notice the disease in your body will start to permeate right out of your skin, and it would just clear up. You know what I mean? That's what the sun is here for. That's why the heat's so hot. That's why those animals over in Yellowstone Mountain, they were leaving, because there seems to be a purification process out there, and the volcanoes may blow at any moment. So all the animals were vacating, and it looked like the circle of life. It looked like they was going to see Simba. I don't know where they was going, but they was getting out of Yellowstone, and all the conspiracies sounded like news reports. Really, all the news reports sounded like they had everything under control. They knew exactly what was going on, because sums it up, that area is going to be volcanically erupted. So these coasts are going to be on watch, y'all. If you live on the coast, be on watch. Pay attention. See if these coasts are going to be good for your future, for the long haul. See if it's good for you to live there for a long time. See if your spirit tells you to stay in a certain area, because we're all changing up in the frequency. Your spirit tells you to stay in a certain area, because we're all changing up, and the frequency is changing. The resonance is spiking. The haters are going to hell, and the meek are going to heaven. And hell and heaven are frequencies. So a lot of people are going through retributed karma, and others are going through retribution. You know what I mean? It just depends on which side of the scale you end up on. And it's very important for you to stay balanced to end up on the right side of the scale. Do you feel me? Yes, sir. So these are very. You're never gonna experience this shift again. Once in a lifetime. If you're here to experience this, you were meant to involve yourself with the shift and find yourself something very, very valuable to do while this thing is rebuilding. Rebuild with this thing and be in alignment with this thing we call God, this thing we call Christ consciousness. Be in alignment, and the alignment will value you and it will feed you. The sunlight only shines itself on those things that prefer to be shined light on. You follow what I'm saying? So you have to be aware of when God is shining His light on you. Hold space. Maintain Christ consciousness of when God is shining His light on you. Hold space. Maintain Christ consciousness, and then build off of that. You know what I mean? Inspire off of that. Explore off of that. And you'll find that these things are powerful. This is very powerful. You know what I mean? The shift is here. Feel the wind. Feel the earth move when you go outside and you speak a certain way. Feel the sunlight. The energy feels at night when it's quiet and peaceful. Energy feels at night when it's quiet and peaceful. Go outside when it's a thunderstorm and realize who, what, when, where we are. We're here in the Matrix, but we don't exist as Matrix players. We are here to shake this Matrix up, unplug the Matrix, because we knew this time was coming. We knew this moment was coming. We all knew this moment was coming. And a lot of us have been hidden. We still hidden. Right now, I'm still shadow banned. People still can't see what I'm saying right now. A lot of people right now are still having problems getting their message out. And you find it's no coincidence. It's all the opposition lining us up for a better opportunity. You feel me? So thank the opposition, y'all. Clap it up. Give them a hand. They did their best. But it's time for them to take a bow and stage left, exit stage left. You know what I mean? That's what Uncle Sam did on the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl episode. You know what I mean? Rod Hayes broke that down. So he exit stage left, you don't come back. You know what I mean? Taxes gone. Free world, new world order. The real new world order. You know what I mean? Where all of our skin tone people are going to be having Mardi Gras. All of the people that are like-minded, they don't got to be skin tone. They just got to be like-minded in Christ consciousness. So any color. But we all going to have Mardi Gras on the street once everything gets cleared up. Once Mason gets cleared up, give it max 2 more years, y'all. They can't hold this stuff back. End game. End game, family. End game, family. End game. I got my Monster shirt on, man, because we come from the ethers. My zero, it's got 0 on. We come from the ethers, y'all. We come from the ethers. And we playing ball. We playing ball. Spirit been holding us together this whole time. A lot of us didn't even know it. A lot of us didn't even know it. A lot of us didn't know it because if we knew it, we'd have blew our cover. Now the time is right. We're exposing our hand. You know what I mean? Jurassic Park came out with a movie called Rebirth. It's in prophetic alignment with exactly what we're talking about right now. It's in prophetic alignment of waking up the primordial beast that we have no idea what was even out there. They went out there to look for some regular dinosaurs, and they got chased out of that area by some primordial beings that were dinosaurs that they never seen in their life. You know what I mean? And it moved them to take the blood, and use it for the greater good of mankind. That's what the movie was about. Spoiler alert, y'all, my bad. But that's all prophetic energy to let you know that Hollywood and the CIA and all of the powers that be that are putting together these movies to clarify our free will, they're doing a good job at prophesizing the energy, because they have someone like you and I in there writing the books, or they're stealing our stories from a prophetic view, and they're running them on replay. If you know, you know, y'all. I'm gonna shut this transmission down, man. I'm just rambling, talking spit. But the spirit guides will always show you what it is. So keep in mind the messages that you get on the back of cars, the back of people's shirts, the front of people's shirts. People will be talking around you, and they will give you messages. So there's a lot of things that you need to be aware of. Man, I just caught a transmission that I needed to be aware of on my way in. Facts. I'll say that. Eat the thumbs, y'all. Peace, love, and all that goodness. We're gonna keep the love. We're gonna keep the love on replay. We're gonna keep the love on replay. The gratitude on replay, and it's gonna repay you. You feel me? It's gonna repay you in a major way, because Spirit loves a brave individual that will go against the grain for the sake of love, for the sake of individuation, and for the sake of testimony, because these are going to be testimonies and to show and prove the Spirit of God and the message and the power of trusting and believing in God. So this is early prophecy, y'all. If y'all watching me now, you know what I mean, it's a great time to stay on the ship, because I'm only going to get a lot more better. It's only going to get better, y'all. So stay on the ship. Chief Wise out here. Somebody made a funny comment like, is he an African chief? He looks like he buys his clothes from America. I'm pretty sure that was a troll, but a chief doesn't have to mean that I'm physically fighting in a 3D in some type of African bush. You know what I mean? A chief can be an individual that thinks on a calculated chess basis, and the primordial context will flow through them at any given moment, and the answers will come directly from the source. You follow what I'm saying? That's what a chief is, y'all. So be real mindful of the trolls. The trolls will get you lost in the sauce, and all we need to do is just block the trolls. Don't even let them in. Don't even let them see what's going on no more. The moment that they expose their hands, and this is the moment, I was gonna call it album. This is the album of exposure. Because the song is gonna be exposing everything, y'all. Chosen, try this when you go in the store. Listen to the song and see if the song is talking to you. See if the song's lyrics have anything to say to you. That's God talking. You know what I mean? Transformers, remember Bumblebee? The only way that the Bumblebee could talk, he would talk through the radio. Wise eye, y'all. Keep a wise eye out there. I'm out, y'all. Love.